Hi out there, it's me, Odin, with Rainy River Outfitters. I just want to do another video today about the TW200. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see that, I've done videos on this before. But today I really want to talk about something that's kind of interested me over the winter. So I've looked at several motorcycles over the winter, as most motorcycle enthusiasts do when riding season's over, especially here in Michigan. But I'm looking for a specific motorcycle because I was thinking about doing the Trans-America Trail. It's a 4,253 mile long trail of mostly off-road, no pavement, kind of at slower speeds in some spots. And I've really done the research on this, and I've read different forums. I've seen what other people have had to say, and those who know me know I love to ride motorcycles. I own an Indian also on top of owning this TW, and I ride my Indian across the country. I ride it from Michigan to Florida, or not Florida, I'm sorry, California. And, it's a great ride. It's awesome. It's a nice 2-week jaunt. But when I started thinking about the Trans-America Trail, the TAT for short, I was thinking to myself, well, I probably need another motorcycle to do that with. And, I started looking at different bikes. I started looking at the Royal Enfield Himalayan. It's fuel injected. It's got mixed reviews, but, people are talking about how it breaks and how there's been issues with this, that, and the other. And, I started thinking, well, I could pick that up, and I'm not retarded when it comes to mechanics, so it wouldn't be too much of an issue for me to go ahead and pick one up. And if I chose that bike to be the one I take on the TAT, well, it wouldn't be that difficult to mod it and take it out there. But then I got to really thinking, and reading the forums and everything. What makes a motorcycle adventure ready? What is an adventure motorcycle? Well, it's a motorcycle that could take you places, get you into tight spots, get you out there, and you can have an adventure with it. Basically, something you could take off pavement and you can overland with. And there's a lot of bikes I could take on the TAT. You read where people are like, oh, well, the DR 650, that'd be the hands down bike that I'd take. That's what people say. Or the DRZ 400, nothing better. And you read about the BMW GS, you just read about all these really large adventure touring bikes or larger dual sport bikes. And, I thought to myself, well, I wonder if anybody's ever done the TAT, the full TAT, on a TW200. Now looking at the bike and everything, and those who've watched my other videos, it's more of an agricultural bike. It's more of a bike people use around the farm or they use in campgrounds. It's obviously, from the look of it, not an interstate road warrior. This motorcycle wasn't designed to keep those speeds. It wasn't designed to pass traffic. But what it was designed to do, it was designed to churn through some gnarly shit. And I know that for a fact because if you've watched my other videos or you've seen any pictures that I've posted across social medias, you'll know that I've had this bike in 3 feet of mud. I've snapped the chain on this bike, the original chain, and you'll notice that I've really punished the shit out of this thing. I have taken it places where four-wheelers would have a hard time going, and I've also dumped it a few times. Right now I'm at 4713 for miles on it. As you guys recall, I got it with I think like 2,000 miles on it or something from a guy who barely rode it. And it's a 95, so it's in mint condition for the year. It's muddy and gross right now, but, you know, it'll get cleaned off next rainstorm. But anyway, I really was asking myself, what could I ride that would absolutely be good off-road, have good on-road manners, and good fuel economy, which I could carry all my gear with. And then I thought, well, hell, I don't have to buy another bike because I have the perfect adventure bike right here in front of me. I have the best dual sport for the job. Now, I'm not going to break any land speed records with it, as I've said before in my other videos. I'm not going to cross the TAT at breakneck speeds. However, there's some things you got to take into account when you decide to do a trip like that. You have to think to yourself, you know, you have to pack the maximum amount of gear that you'll need. You need your tools, you need your bedroll, your tent, you need water, you're going to need some spare fuel, especially when you have a tank that small, because I refuse to put one of those big plastic tanks on it. And you're going to have to carry a lot of shit to do this trip with. And more shit equals more weight. And we all know that riding a motorcycle, you know, it's not if you're going to drop the son of a bitch, but it's when you drop it. And I've been fortunate. I haven't dumped this thing too many times. I have dropped it in mud before. I have buried it all the way up to the exhaust. And it's a fairly light bike. You know, it's not a big pain in the ass to pull out of the mud or to pick up if you lay it down. And, you know, it seems like it would be the right donkey for the job. It's a pack mule, is basically what I'm getting at. It has all the makings of an amazing adventure bike. However, you have to take paths that are at a slower speed. Because let's face it, the bike isn't fast. It's not built for speed. It's not really built for much. But what it does have a lot of low-end grunt. It is built basically like a tractor. And those of you who have rode tractors, driven tractors, you know that they're slow going, but they're going to churn their way there. Now, you're not going to get there fast, but you'll get there. So, the thing I'm thinking about doing is thinking about slapping on some luggage on it. They make a nice front rack for it. And what I really dig about these, especially the older ones, is you got your kickstart on this still. So, you know, and to me, I think that's an asset. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, you can bump start it because it takes nothing to do. And you know what? You're correct. You could bump start it. But why if you have a kickstart? You know, I don't know how everybody else, you know, feels about these bikes. I know there's a huge cult following for them. There's just a ton of people who love the shit out of them. Now, I ride a 1911cc Indian motorcycle. But then I jump on this because this son of a bitch is a blast to ride. You know, it's always fun to ride fast on a slow bike. And that's what this thing is. It's a slow bike. But I did a little bit of re-gearing. I can maintain 65 miles an hour in the top gear as long as there's no big hill, because then I'll have to drop a gear because, well, let's face it, it doesn't have the get up and go that most of the other bikes do. But the advantages that it has is it is small. It is very small, and it's light. And even with all your gear packed down, you're still not running into the issue that some of the bigger bikes have. The weight distribution, the fact that you're going to have to pick the son of a bitch up in sloppy mud, you know. So I'm just kind of wondering what you guys think about this. Leave me a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Because as we go forward with this, I would really like to know your guys' feelings. I'd like to know what you guys ride. I would like to know how you feel about an actual adventure touring build with this TW. and if you'd like to follow me along on this. Now, this channel, I do a lot of reviews on firearms. I do a lot of reviews on different things. But motorcycling is what I'm passionate about. I love to ride. Those who know me really well know I love to ride. And it's not a couple miles a year, it's thousands of miles a year. I find a nice solitude in it. I find it to be therapeutic for myself. You know, so I want you guys to let me know down in the comments what you ride and if you'd be interested in a TW build series. Now, there's a ton of information out there. You know, I know there's a guy on here, on YouTube here, T-Dub's kid, which he's probably T-Dub's man now. He's got to be, shit, he's probably a grown-ass man. But he's got a ton of videos out there with maintenance on these. And that's another thing, too, with this. Like, these are really low-maintenance bikes. They will almost run on anything. They run on hopes and dreams. They'll get you to where you're wanting to go, and they'll get you out of there. So the drawback, though, is the fuel capacity. The fuel capacity is just not there. So, you know, roto packs, I'd have to think about a bunch of other shit, carrying some spare parts. Not that I think anything would take out these tires, because those of you who know the TW know that it runs like the biggest ass end tire out there. The thing is wide and ridiculous, but it's confidence inspiring. So anyway, like, subscribe, let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below, and you guys have a fantastic day out there. Never stop going out on adventures, guys. Thanks for your support. Bye.